lot of love, yeah. Huddle up, going deep, first and 10, call a play, I'm on it. It's a blitz, not again, 46, bring the heat, baby, we ain't punting. Big ball, better trust, Hail Mary, just trust.
Welcome back to another episode of Run It Back NASA, folks. Listen, today we're going to switch it up. We're going to do something a little different. I know. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. And you guys are probably like, where's the 22 of the running backs? What's going on? Okay, let me tell you what's going on here today. So, I've been sitting back and I've been watching the Steeler comments and the commentary from the fans and everything, and just listening to the rhetoric that's being, spewed out by the Steel Nation. You know what I'm saying? The diehard Steel Nation. And I just do not like what I hear. You know what I mean? So let's break this down, okay? I think the most important thing people don't understand about football is the actual game of football, okay? Football is a game, literally a game. It's chess moves. But on top of that, you have 11 individuals having to work as one to accomplish something using their athletic and their mental ability and brute strength to be able to accomplish those things. Okay? Now, when you add all those things together, you will have human error. Okay? Is it okay to mess up? No. Is it realistic that people will mess up? Yes. With that being said, you do have to do your job. And it is okay to be concerned. There are some concerning things. But I think what Steel Nation is concerned about is the wrong thing. Everybody's concerned about the wrong thing. Fire Coach Tomlin. Everybody's loving that. Terrell Austin, get them out of here. They want the OC going. They just want to clean the whole house out. Let's just clean the whole house out. That's how Steel Nation feels right now. But sometimes, guys, you have to admit that you just don't know what you're talking about. Everybody just all of a sudden becomes GMs and coaches. Now, with that being said, how can I have a say so? I don't. All I do literally is lay out the facts of what is going on. And when you do that, sometimes you see, oh, wow, this was a little closer than it looked. But when you don't understand what's going on and you just look at numbers and use that for your judgment, it's not going to tell you the whole story. Okay, so now let's break down this game. We're not even going to do the 22 view. We're going to do the broadcast view because I want you guys to understand basically all you can watch from this view, okay? So now let's get into it. Second half. Now let's think about this. We was playing a bad game. We know that. We were giving up the run. It's looking bad. You know what I mean? With all that being said, we are up 14-7 with the ball after halftime, okay? Now, understand, I'm not making any excuses. And during this, I'm going to say this should not have happened or they needed to execute right here. That's just the honest truth. But you have to take into account so many things. And people are saying like fire the OC and the DC, and you don't have any idea what the schemes are. There are also offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators who are very skilled at what they do on the other side as well, which is another chess piece. And sometimes they win. Sometimes we win, but the players don't execute. Sometimes the players execute on a bad play call. It happens. That is the game of football. But the thing is, you have to be able to differentiate. Dang, I just killed that word. Between the two and what's going on. And it gives you a better picture of where the team is and what really is the issue at hand. Okay, so we come out first down, run on first down. We get some nice yardage. We're not used to doing that. Okay, good run, first down. We'll take it. 2nd and 6. There's a lot you could do. Beautiful play action out of the pocket. Checks it down. Savvy move. Gets us down to 3rd and 1. Okay. Now, boom. 3rd and short. We get it. This is clutch right here. Okay. First of all, we move the chains, get a first down. Nice. Another run. Another good game. We're driving down the field, get a screen. It's not bad. This is 3rd and manageable. Okay. Hold on. Right here. We're in a 3rd and short situation. This is important. This is a good thing. This is something to see that we have improved on. I understand it is 3rd down, and it's like, just get the first and da 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 da. I understand that. But being that we're in a 3rd and 2 situation, and we're able to do so many different things from this, yeah, you can say it was a bad play call. Yeah, you can say we didn't execute. But of course, you're saying that after it didn't work. Because if it worked, nobody would have said anything. But it didn't work. That's football. It happens. Nobody's perfect. It happens. But the thing to be aware about is that, boom, first of all, we moved the chains once. Boom. Okay, so if we do punt, at least we get to back them up, and they got to drive far down the field, okay? So, boom. There's that aspect of it, of understanding that. Maybe we might not convert, but we were able to move the chains enough that if we do have to punt the ball, we can switch the field, okay? Boom, he rolls out, gets the holding call. We don't complete the pass. Got to execute on 3rd and 2. And there was a hold anyway, so boom. Okay, so we punt. Still up 14-7. Even though we didn't get points, we are still winning. They come out, get a good run. 2nd and 1. Clutch for them. Okay. They start gashing us in the run game. Well, they've been gashing us, but as far as the second half, now they're gashing us some more, right? Okay. At this point, boom, there we go. Pat Queen finally ran through his gap with some intention. Okay, boom. Even on all of this, everybody's saying, like, coaching and this and that, and he could have called better plays. We don't know the scheme. We do not know what was called. We do not know what's going on, right? Even on, and it's always funny how, like, afterwards, we kind of get the full story, but people ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, there have been reports of Slay talking about how they were supposed to communicate that, to pass that off to each other, and it didn't get communicated. So that was an issue on the field. So you can't say the play call was wrong, because if the people don't do what you tell them to do. So they drive down the field, they get a touchdown. That's bad defense. Got to get a stop. So now we get the ball back. This is the second possession we got. Gets out the pocket, makes something happen. Jalen Warren. Beast mode. He goes beast mode. And of course, right here, you would have liked for him to score, but you love it. It's a good play. It's a big play. We haven't seen big plays on our offense in a while. Here we go with another one in a crucial time. They just drove down, scored. Now we got the ball back. What do? Go right down. Go right down the field. And it's not much play, so that takes away from our play count. So now, you know what I mean? We're not running we don't get as much runs because we don't go down the field as much. All that little stuff affects that. So now it's 3rd and goal. And I mean, to me, looks like a dot. It looks like it was about to be a dot. Now, of course, you can play that game. He might have dropped it. He didn't catch it. He might have none of the right. But the thing about this is what happened was a self error. That was nothing that anybody could have did or something somebody could have did better. Well, obviously, Calvin Austin could have, moved out the way. But I'm saying as far as like offensive coordinator or, you know, Broderick Jones, who y'all like to, that's a whole nother case. But here we go again. Missed tackle, 2nd and 3. Should have had him for a loss. Boom. Here we go. Defense kind of showing up. Now 2nd and 10. Now we put them in a situation where we kind of almost know they want to pass the ball. Queen jogging. That's just an effort thing. He's a whole nother story too. But okay, 3rd and 1. Gotta make this stop on 3rd and 1. Look who's in the area. Chuck Clark. We literally just picked him up. Not saying that's an excuse, but next man up thing, I just can't hear that. Then we got those two getting bulldozed. That's just an effort thing. I don't care what defense was called. It doesn't matter what defense is called. That is unacceptable. We can't have that. That's not the defensive coordinator. Like, that's not scheme. It's none of that. And that's what the problem is. The problem is it's not the scheme things that's getting us in trouble. So boom. Look what happened when we force them into throwing downs. Now TJ Watt's unlocked. That's a whole nother thing. Everybody's asking where's TJ Watt's sacks, and look what happens when they can't chip him. We force him into passing downs, and TJ get to pin his ears back. He gets double teamed every single play. So after all of that, we held him to 3. Good job. Defense might not have did good, but on that drive, they did what they supposed to do. Now this. This kills it. This kills it. We drove 2 times. We at least got a first down on the one time. I wouldn't say we drove, but that was kind of a self-inflicted wound. I think if we get into that situation again, this time we go for it. But this right here, now we're down 10. Now this changes the whole script. On that drive, we could have had everything available to us and did whatever we needed to do. But now because of that changes the whole game plan. We got to go all the way outside of the script. These are grown athletes on the other side who have a scheme ready. They have, they were studying film this whole time. And now we got to go out there and just wing it almost. Because now we're down 10 in the 4th quarter. So now you got to play a different game. You can't just do everything that you were doing before. But 3rd and 2, we make the play we need to make. We didn't have that in the past. That's something to look forward to. Like, we couldn't make that play before. This is a sack. Like, from 5 years ago to now, this is a sack. But now, move the chains again. So now we're driving again. Boom. Nice slant to DK. Nice first down play. 2nd and very manageable. 10 minutes left. It's looking good. 2nd and 1. Need that yard. We got it. Move the chains twice. Usually we move the chains 2-3 times. We're in Boswell range. You got to get your head around how to catch that. 2nd and 10. Nice check down. Get into a 3rd and manageable. I think it's like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. You would like something a little shorter, but nonetheless. Don't like this decision. Don't know what he saw. Don't know the concept. Can't say it was a bad play. They could have not executed it right. Don't know what happened. We do not know what happened. Now when we all this talk about the DC and this and that, there's 7 minutes left in this game, right? We stopped the run. We need to get the ball back. This is a drive we need to make a stop. It is 3rd and 9. Patrick Queen is clean to the quarterback. Clean. So, okay, there's a couple things I want to dissect here. For one, Ramsey is at safety. Okay? That's a defensive adjustment. For two, TJ Watt's on this side. That's another defensive adjustment. I know you can see how they're lined up. It's a funky lineup. This is something different. This is something exotic, as you would say. This is him changing it up. This is an adjustment. He calls this. This is a play he called. He called this blitz play. Does it not work? We don't execute. Now that turns into this. We're supposed to have the ball with 6 minutes and 25 seconds left. Now, of course, things happen, and this is football. And this is what I'm saying on how this game is played. Break down. He does this. He plays so lazy, and I don't do this with players. Like I don't really like to, give them a characteristic or a name, I should say, like on how they are, if they're good, if they're bad, because you just got to turn on the film and see what's going on. But him, it's not that he's not a bad player. He just does not play hard. He doesn't play hard to me. Like it doesn't mean enough. It just doesn't mean enough. And I can say that with everything in my chest. He does not win it. So now that turns into this. Yes. Yes, you want Ramsey to make that play one-on-one. Yes. The receiver won that rep. Out of all the reps, he won this one. He stumbles. Could have made the play. Didn't. Good throw. Boom. Stop him. If we can hold him to a field goal, we could possibly still have a chance. And guess what? We got people showing up. At the same time, our whole D line is basically the same defensive line that played in the preseason games. So think about that. Besides TJ Watt, who they're doubling and sending somebody over there every time to widen them out, then they're just going away from Cam. And then this play right here was just, Pat Queen and Peyton Wilson, that was just terrible angles. Like Pat Queen, you go the easiest way. You don't go through anybody. Just look at your jogging. You don't care. He just simply doesn't care. And now, game's out of reach. Game's out of reach. That's that. Touchdown, Kenneth Walker. Seahawks win. Now, I don't say any of that to take away from the Seahawks, because what they did was they played good and they made less mistakes than us. And that's the game of football, and that's how it goes. Now, are there concerning things? Of course. But I think what Steeler Nation is concerned with isn't the same thing that is actually concerning. You know what I mean? And I do think that we have a lot of, we have a lot of like, we bring the pride. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say they're playing for us, but they are playing for us. You know what I mean? Like without Steeler Nation and how hard we come, well, we have to be that sixth man basically. We got to bring back bleeding the black and gold, man. We do. Right or wrong, we got to be with our team. We got to build that spirit. That's what it is. That's what it is. We have to bring the spirit to the team. Right now, the team spirit is the same way that it is on social media and on the internet and everything. That's the same spirit how the team is right now. We got to rally behind these guys, let them know we believe in them, let them know we're here, right or wrong, and just sit back and enjoy football. You know what I mean? Especially if you really don't do the research and really look into football that much and you just on the internet just spewing out anything. You know what I mean? Like, of course, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but at some point, it's just the noise is getting so loud, it seeps into the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, George Pickens might have had whatever he had going on. I don't know him. I don't know if he had anything going on, but I know he wanted to get a fresh start because of the narrative. He said something about the narrative. Where does the narrative come from? The narrative comes from the outside sources, come from the media and all that. So that just lets you know that all that stuff seeps into the locker room and it affects the locker room. He feel like the fans ain't behind him, and he's going out there playing for us. Like, it's just the relationship's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work. And I think that's what always made the Steeler Nation special, because no matter what, we were riding behind our team. We were riding behind our coach, and it was always Steel Nation. You know what I mean? That's why we would have 8-8 seasons and still win a Super Bowl, or, have seasons that weren't that great, but still be contenders, because we always had that Steel spirit, man. And I think we need to bring that back. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. I might start doing these more often where I really break down, what really happened in the game, so you can really, kind of calm down and understand really what the problems are. And sometimes the problems are just that day. It's not like a problem that will continue to see, even if you're getting the same result. Like, for example, if you're running the ball, let's say both weeks we got the ball ran on us, okay? This week it might have been because of this thing. Next week it might be because of that thing. But all you guys are seeing is we got 100 yards put up on us both games. You know what I mean? So it's things like that where you got to understand where the problem is and what's going on, instead of, having everybody ready to fire Tomlin. That one kills me, man. He's the best coach ever. He's definitely one of the best coaches ever, and that's why everybody wants to play for him. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. People don't even understand the role of a head coach and, just exactly what they do and what they bring to a team and why they're important. But like I said, man, ran over. We out of here, baby. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Let's go.
lot of love, yeah. Huddle up, huddle up. Going deep, 1st and 10, call a play, I'm on it. It's a blitz, not again, 46, bring the heat, baby, we ain't punting.